Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua. Peace and blessings. And I'm going to start right here. This is Isaiah 46 and verse 10. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Right? So the thing I want to take away from this is declaring the end from the beginning. Right? So everything that happens, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, he already knows about it. Right? Everything that's happening, that has happened, that will happen, he already know. Right? So I want to start off by saying that. Right? Because I'm going to do this video on how, despite the bad things that we do, the Lord still loves us, right? Because people like to look at like the works of the law, like Sabbath, high holy days, dietary laws. They look at the works of the law, right? Things that you can control pretty much, right? They look at those things and they think like this makes them righteous. This is what gets them on a path to receive salvation, as if they're doing some special thing. No, the Lord doesn't love us for anything in the works of the law, right? The Lord, for one, loves us in general, right? But the thing that puts us over the top is by trying to do as Yahweh Bashem Yahushua would do, which is love unconditionally, right? At all times, as much as possible, right? That's what the Lord wants to see. That's what he wants us to do. That's what we get points for, right? Now, I'm gonna go over here. So it says Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, he knew everything, right? He knew what was going to happen and what is going to happen, everything, right? But before it even happens. So Romans 3 and verse 23, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? So everybody have come short, period, right? Because you got guys that walk around and say, well, I'm keeping this holy day, keeping this law, keeping that law, so I feel good about myself, right? I feel like I'm on a good path. No, that ain't it, right? You should never feel like, okay, I got this, right? Because anybody who's going to be in the right spirit understands how much they messed up. They understand that they need the help of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. They understand that it's not wrong to fall, right? The wrong thing is not getting back up. The wrong thing is not pushing on, right? Not falling isn't wrong, right? The Most High, he knows everything already. He knows we're going to fall. That's why he sent Yahweh Shai. He knows we're going to fall, but he wants us to get up. He wants us to put that effort in, right? This is Isaiah again, 49 and 15. It says, can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? They may forget, yet I will not forget thee. Right? So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is declaring right now that he won't forget. Right? You got people that'll forget. Mothers, fathers, they'll forget about their children, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said he won't forget. Right? He's going to continually show his love. When you read Luke chapter 6 and 35, it tells you that what? The Father, he has he does good unto the unthankful and to the evil. Okay? So the Father doesn't even forget the wicked, right? He gives good to the wicked and unto the righteous, right? Just because he's the Father of spirits, okay? He has love for everything that he created and everyone that he created. Now he has favorites. He loves some more than others, but he still has love for everything and everyone who he created. This is Mark chapter 10 In verse 18, and Yahushua said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yahweh. Okay, so Yahweh, he's the only one without any fault. He's the only one who has not fallen, right? So he's the only one that can actually talk. He's the only one that can actually like say something, right? Nobody else can say a word. Even Yahushua, the first spirit created, said out his own mouth, don't even call me good, right? There's only one good, and that's the Father, right? So the Father, knowing that there's none good but himself, being the Father, right? Again, he still has love. He still forgive. He still has that mercy, right? This is 2 Samuel 12. We start at 1. And Yahweh sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, there were two men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. And the rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nourished up, and it grew up together with him and with his children. It did eat of his own meat and drink of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take his own flock and his own herd to dress for the wavering man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that was come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as the Lord liveth, Yahweh, the man that have done this thing shall surely die. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he have did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. And I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosoms, and gave thee the house of Israel and Judah. And if that had been too little, I will moreover have given unto thee such and such things. So you have King David, right? It was Uriah the Hittite, right? One of David's closest friends. He basically seen Uriah's wife. He wanted her. Uriah went off to war. He saw Uriah's wife. He had sex with her. He got her pregnant. Now, Uriah came back from the war, which wasn't yet done yet. And then King David said, you've been fighting long and hard. I want you to go and have a night off with your wife, and then afterwards go back to war. And Uriah said, nah, I don't want to do that, because I want to stay strong. So I want to stay focused, so I'm not going to go see my wife. So because David was planning on having Uriah have sex with his wife, so since she's pregnant, it'll make it look like it's Uriah's baby and not that she cheated. So when Uriah had declined this, King David decided, you know what, this ain't going to work. He's going to find out that she cheated, and I don't want nobody to find out I did this. So he arranged for Uriah to go back to war, and told the people the generals or whatever next to Uriah, like, listen, when y'all get deep in the battle, pull back so they can kill Uriah. That's what King David told his men. So he basically wanted to kill Uriah to cover up the thing that he done. So Nathan the prophet was sent by Yahweh to go tell David this horrible thing he's done. And David ends up feeling bad that he got caught, and basically says, the Lord is going to kill me. I know you're going to kill me for this. But Nathan told Yahweh, like, I'm not going to kill you for this, but there's going to be punishment set up, right? So King David had done this horrible thing, right? Now I'm going to move on. I'm going to circle back to that. This is Matthew's 26 and verse 33. Peter answered and said unto him, though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended. So offended, when you go into that word offended, means that to turn away from. So Peter said, even though everybody be turned away from you, but he's telling Peter, I'll never turn away from you. Peter's telling Yahweh Shai, I'll never turn away from you. I'll never turn my back on you. I'm always going to be down for you no matter what. He's basically telling him, I'm going to ride or die no matter what happens, right? So it's Yahweh Shai said, verily, verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me 3 times, thrice, right? So Yahweh Shai said, so Yahweh Shai knew already from the gate that Peter was going to deny him, right? That Peter was going to do this thing 3 times. He's going to deny Yahweh Shai 3 times. He was going to deny him. Now I'm going to circle back to that again. I'm going to go over here. This is Acts 8 and 1. And Saul was consenting unto his death. And at that time, there were a great persecution against the church, which was at Jerusalem. And they were all scattered abroad throughout the regions of Judea and Samaria, except the apostles. So Paul was persecuting the church, or at this time Saul was persecuting the church, and they were all scattering, right? It says, and devout men carried Stephen to his burial and made great lamentation over him, because they just got done killing Stephen. As for Saul, he made havoc of the church, entering into every house and hailing men and women, committed them into prison. So Saul was going from house to house, basically throwing anybody in prison who was going to serve Yahweh Shai, anybody, right? So we got King David doing a horrible thing. We got Paul doing a horrible thing. Saul, same thing, doing a horrible thing. We got Peter doing a horrible thing, right? Now, watch this. Acts 13 and 22. And when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David, talking about when he removed King Saul. And when he up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony. So Yahweh Shai gave a testimony, Yahweh, and said, I have found David, a son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. So King David had done this horrible thing, and he knew he was going to do it, yet he still said David was a man after his own heart, right? And that's like, so Yahweh Shai, he knows we're going to fall. He knows we're going to make mistakes, yet he still has love for us. He still tries to pick us up. He still wants us to do better. He still has faith and love in us, right? Watch this. So Matthew's 16:13. When Yahweh Shai came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men Matthew 16 and verse 18. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. Right? So, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the key of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. So this great power was given unto Peter, who Yahushua knew was going to deny him. So we got King David who did this horrible thing, and the Lord Yahweh, he still said, this is a man after my heart, right? Peter denied the Lord 3 times, and Yahushua, knowing this, still made him the rock, the rock whom the church was going to be built upon, right? Still gave him the keys, right? Now as for Saul, Acts 9 and verse 13. And then Ananias, so give a little bit of background. Saul was chasing after who he thought was going to be Peter. And Yahushua met Saul and on his way to go try to get Peter, knocked him off the horse. They had a talk. He blinded him. And Paul went down to the place where he was going to go meet Peter to go lock him up, right? So that's where this picks up right here. Paul got blinded. The Lord blinded his eyes. It says, then Ananias answered the Lord, I have heard by many of this man, because Yahushua is telling Ananias, one of his disciples, I want you to go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it. This is Acts 9 and 11. And the Lord said unto him, arise and go into the street, which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus. For behold, he prayeth, and he have seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him, and he might receive his sight. So Saul at the time, he had a vision that a man named Ananias is going to come and give him his sight back. So Yahushua is telling this Ananias, one of his disciples, and he's like, wait, hold on, you said Saul of Tarsus? So Ananias is thinking like, whoa, you got to be out of here. This is how Ananias thinking like, are you sure? Because this guy is ruthless. Because we just read how Peter and Paul was persecuting everybody, going from door to door, pulling everybody out, putting people in prison. So we just heard about that. So Yahushua is telling him, listen, I want you to go get him. I want you to go come unto him, whatever. He's like, you sure? So the Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he hath done to thy saints at Jerusalem. And here he hath authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. But the Lord said unto him, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles and the kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. So we have King David doing this horrible thing, but he still was set up to be king. He's still a man after the Most High's heart. We got Peter denying the Lord 3 times. He still was set up to be the rock and giving the kings of the church. Giving the keys to the church. And then we got Saul of Tarsus doing all these horrible things, persecuting the church, throwing people in prison, right? Being a witness unto the death of Stephen, right? And he's still the chosen vessel of the Most High, right? Let's go over here. This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 5. Even when we were dead in sin, have quickened us together with Hamashiach. By grace you are saved. See, so even when we were dead wrong, even when the Lord knew we were up to no good, he still gave us a chance, right? And this is what the Father had done. This is what his Son had done, Yahweh Shah, right? Let's get this. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Okay, so Yahweh loved us so much, he gave us Yahweh Shah to die for us. Okay, he gave us Yahweh Shah to die for us, to give us a chance to live, even though we were wrong, even though we were sinners, even though we had done horrible things. Okay, we just read some of the greatest people of Israel: King David, Peter, Apostle Paul, three of the highest members of the nation of Israel, right, doing horrible things and still be set up in elite positions, right, still receiving that kind of mercy from Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. But that's why he's staying true to his word. For God so loved the world, okay, and again, that's the kind of love we gotta have abroad for everyone. Right, that same kind of love, keeping that same energy, right? And also keeping faith, even though we do mess up, even though we do fall. The Lord still wants us to get back up. He still will have that love for us if we get back up. Even if we don't get back up, right? He still won't have that love for us, but he wants us to get back up. Okay, we always have a chance to do better. Okay, we always have a chance to climb up out of that hole, and that's what he wants us to do. But with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Shalom.